So,
Good day, everyone. Today we are going to learn about communication and network. May I call Richard Nicholas to start our discussion?
what is communication? Communication can be explained as the process of transmitting information from one person, place, or group to another. It is through communication that we share message with each other. Communication is a process that involves sending and receiving message through the verbal and nonverbal methods. Communication is a two-way means of communicating information in the form of thoughts, opinions, and ideas between two or more individuals with the purpose of building and understanding. May I call Cherlyn Arburo to continue our discussion?
Types of communication. Verbal communication. Verbal communication is about language, both written and spoken. In general, verbal communication refers to our use of words, while nonverbal communication refers to communication that occurs through means other than words, such as body language, gestures, and silence. Nonverbal communication is the transmission of message or signals through a nonverbal platform such as eye contact, facial expression, gesture, posture, use of objects, and body language. It includes the use of social cues, kinesics, distance, and physical environment, appearance of voice, and of touch. Written communication is making use of the written word to deliver information. Anytime a person writes a message that will be sent along for someone else to read and interpret, they are using written communication. Listening. Listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret message in the communication process. Listening is key to all effective communication without. The ability to listen effectively message are easily misunderstood. Listening is one of the most important skills you can have. Visual communication. Visual communication is the use of visual elements to convey ideas and information which includes but are not limited to sign typography, drawing, graphic, design, illustration, industrial design, advertising, animation, and electronic resources. Humans have used visual communication since prehistoric times. Next, may I call Jacqueline de la Cruz to continue our discussion?
What is networks? A network is a group of two or more computers or other electronic devices that are interconnected for the purpose of exchanging data and sharing resources. Next slide. Wireless versus wired. The main difference between wireless and wired technologies is the way in which data is transmitted between devices. Wired technology uses physical cables to connect devices, such as Ethernet cables, coaxial cables, or fiber optic cables. The data is transmitted through these cables as electrical signals, which are converted into digital information that can be processed by the devices. Wired connections are generally more reliable and faster than wireless connections, as they are less susceptible to interference and signal degradation. Wireless technology, on the other hand, uses radio waves to transmit data between devices. These allow for greater flexibility in terms of device placement and mobility, as devices do not need to be physically connected to each other. However, wireless connection can be more susceptible to interference and signal degradation, which can result in slower speed or drop connections. Another key difference between wireless and wired technology is the range of the connection. Wired connections are limited by the length of the cables, whereas wireless connection can typically extend over a larger area, depending on the strength of the signal and any obstacle that may interfere with it. In summary, wired connections are generally faster and more reliable, but require physical connection between devices. Wireless connections are more flexible and allow for greater mobility, but may be slower and and more prone to interference. May I call Richard to continue our discussion?
Networks are typically classified by range as follows. Personal Area Network, or PAN. A personal area network is a type of computer network that is used for personal and local purposes. It is a small wireless network that provides communication between personal devices such as smartphones, tablets, laptops, and wearable devices like smartwatches within a close range of 10 meters or less. A personal area network is a small personal and wireless network that provides communication between a user personal device. Local area network or LAN. What is local area network? Is a type of a computer network that spans over a small geographic area, typically within a single building or campus. It provides communication and connectivity to computers, printers, and other devices located in the same location. Metropolitan Area Network or MAN. A metropolitan area network is a computer network that connects computers within a metropolitan area, which could be a single large city, multiple cities and towns, or any given large area within multiple buildings. A metropolitan area network is a larger than a local area network, but smaller than a wide area network. Global Area Network or GAN. What is Global Area Network? A global area network is a network composed of interconnected of different networks that cover a unrestricted geographical area. A global area network is a large worldwide network that provides communication and connectivity to a large number of users and devices located in different parts of the world. Wide Area Network or WAN. A wide area network is a type of telecommunication network that extends over a large geographic area such as a city, state, country, or even the world. Wide area networks are designed to connect computers, servers, and other devices over a large distance, typically through a combination of public and private communication links. May I call Julia De La Cruz to continue our discussion?
Examples of network: the World Wide Web is a directed network in which nodes represent web pages and edge are the hyperlinks between pages. More precisely, there exists an edge from page P to page Q. If page P contains one hyperlink pointing to page Q, usually the actual number of hyperlinks from page P Q is not important and hence the network modeling the web is unweighted. In addition, studying the web as a network is of crucial importance in the field of web information retrieval. Web search engines, for instance, heavily exploit the web topology in order to rank web pages that are returned the user that issued a query. The PageRank method, which is a major ingredient of Google search engine, is a fitting example. Jacqueline, give us some more examples of network.
The Internet. This is a collection of routers linked by various physical lines. The Internet is a growing network with no central control authority. When adding a new node to the Internet, two factors mainly determine the router node to connect to: distance and bandwidth. While distance put obvious constraints, bandwidth, a measure of connection speed of the router, is typically the dominant factor. Next, please.
Power line and airlines network. are human-made networks that might be involved in random failure as well as target attacks. Failure may have cascading effect. The failure of one node may recursively provoke the failure of connected nodes. Clearly, such events on these networks might have catastrophic consequences. The topology of the network directly influences the magnitude and reach of such events. Next.
Citation network. Citation network is an article citation network links scholarly papers through bibliographic references contained in the bibliography of the papers. Citation networks are fundamental tools in bibliometrics, the discipline that concerns itself with the study of the dissemination of knowledge through academic publication. Next example.
Fifth, language networks. In In this network, the nodes are words and the links represent the relationship among words like significant co-occurrence in text. The properties of this network suggest some unexpected features of language organization that might reflect the evolutionary and social history of lexicons and the origins of their flexibility and combinational nature. The known dramatic effect of disconnecting the most connected vertices in such network can be identified in some language disorders, like agramanism, a kind of apathesis in which speech is non-fluent, labored, halting, and lacking in function words. Next.
Food webs. These are networks created by nature. In food webs, species are connected by links telling which species feed on which other species. The links of this network seldom go both ways, and hence food webs are also examples of directed networks. Studying food web is important to understand the ecosystem dynamics. For instance, ecologists believe that hubs of food webs are like keystone species of the ecosystem, paramount in maintaining the stability of ecosystem. The ecosystem can easily survive if random species are deleted. If, however, hub species are removed, the ecosystem dramatically collapses. Next example.
Another example, economic networks, can be viewed as a huge directed multi-relational network. Companies, firms, financial institutions, government play the roles of nodes. Links symbolize different interaction between them. For instance, purchases and sales or financial loaning, and the weight of the links captures the value of transaction. Viewing the economy as a network of interacting actors is useful to make sense of global financial meltdowns, which are provoked by a sequence of failures cascading over the highly connected and independent network economy. Next.
Metabolic and protein network. The nodes of metabolic networks are simple molecules like water or ATP. The links are the biochemical reaction that take place between these molecules. Moreover, proteins can be viewed as nodes of a complex network in which two proteins are connected if they can physically interact. Next example.
Last example is social network. Social network link people according to various social relationships like acquaintance, friendship, collaboration, and sexual relation. They are of paramount importance to understand and anticipate the spread of ideas, innovations, fads as well as biological and computer viruses. For instance, the document position of hubs in sexual networks, people with an extraordinary number of sexual partners, has been adopted as an explanation of the partially unexpected diffusion and persistence of AIDS epidemic, which defies the predictions of classical epidemic models based on the homogeneous random networks of hypotheses. Indeed, due to their high connectivity, hubs are easy to be infected, and once it's infected, they potentially can pass the virus to all linked people. That would be all. Thank you.
That's all po. Thank you for listening po.